That's very.
Press pause. Press pause. Press pause, baby.
What is that? What happened to the Klan?
You don't want to talk about that last clip? Hey, pause it. Hey, I don't know, but it sounds like I think from what I've heard so far, it just sounds like Charlie Clips is hated. Not Charlie Clips. Charlie Kirk is hated for dominating the debate. Like I think people don't like losing to him and whatnot, so they hate him. But thus far, I don't see that for a reason for him to be killed or shot. So I don't know. Keep playing. Let's see if we find something that's worth him getting killed for.
I actually saw a dope debate with him and a black dude, Dreads, like heavy set black dude. It was a really good debate. Yeah, you wanna play it? I'll play it.
I heard he lost that debate too, right? So he
yeah, he lost. He definitely lost that.
Yeah, so he loses to black people, but I don't know. But we can hear that later. I just want to go through these clips real quick, see if there's anything like worth him getting clapped up. Because I'm trying to see something.
The majority wants it as quickly as possible.
I don't advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative, that we live in a republic, and I understand.
You're a stochastic terrorist.
What is that?
You're targeting a minority group. You're targeting trans people specifically.
What is a woman?
That's a stupid ass question. That's a dumbass question.
What is a woman, college student?
What is a woman? Oh, you're having a culture instead of like, I don't know, somebody who has media training?
You can't answer what a woman is. It's not a trick question. What is a woman? What is that thing? You can't answer the question with the question. It's like saying, what is the sun? The sun is something that looks like the sun. What is a woman? You can't answer the question with, define the woman without saying woman. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, what is a woman? I don't know.
Oh, do you remember that video? That video or what?
Yeah, he hang with the same people.
And people couldn't answer the question. That shit was crazy.
He hang with that same group of people, Ben Shapiro and them.
I don't know, bro. I think he's making valid points. I'm mad that I was up on this nigga from before, but we could have had a lot of arguments here off this nigga's content, so I'm kind of upset. But I don't know, bro. I know somebody I'll be like, the birthing people, the cis people, the new women, and women can be whatever women want, and women is something that you identify as when you want to identify as. I don't know, but it's crazy. I don't think he's doing anything wrong so far, but we'll see.
I think I was having a conversation with one of my buddies.
All right, so let's get to it. Peace, everyone. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Trust Fund Baby Podcast. It has been so much going on here in the States. As of recent, Charlie Kirk, he was just, had an untimely early demise. He was pop out with a Utah college campus. So there's been a lot of details and information going on about this. So I wanted to, I wanted to get into some of this information and, just show some clips and things and, get the people's viewpoint. So I got some information from The Guardian that for sure I want to get into. And we're going to have a nice little day. We're going to have a good little segment. So let's share screen. And we're going to start off right here with The Guardian. Sure. All right, so right here. How Charlie Kirk shooting unfolded in maps, video, and images. Conservative activist and Trump ally was shot. And at that Utah Valley University event on Wednesday. And once again, shout out to our news network, TFB News. Clubhouse. Great place to be. Stay alert and always know at TFB Network, this is where we have real conversations with real people in real time. So right here we have the map. Utah, and then we have right here Utah University. So we see where we are. All right, so let's we see how many people is here, right? Like, I, being a military child and somebody who is a martial artist and grew up around firearms and things like that, have a certain understanding of things. Like, I'm not an expert or anything. I know quite a few though, and I go shooting. Shout out to Serious Intel up in the DC DMV area. They handle all of our arms trainings, and they actually train the people who work in the White House and in the Pentagon. Great shooters. They taught me amazing things. Just know that much. So right here we have an image of Charlie passing out MAGA hats. So yeah, and we're going to get into his affiliation with MAGA and Donald Trump and all of these things as well. So let's hear this real quick.
Nice to meet you, Dakota. How old are you?
I'm 11.
Amazing. Give it up for Dakota being here.
So, I'm pro-life. I'm a fiscal conservative. And I know I want to get into politics when I grow up. I don't want to get into massive depth for a political science degree. What concrete steps can I take now in order to achieve the goal of doing my part to make America great again?
Okay. You should go to Hillsdale College, America's greatest college, and start studying now. Start taking classes, reading books. You do have to be in charge of your own education. And the fact you're thinking like this at 11 is a great sign. God bless you, and the future is very bright. Thank you. Do you want a hat?
Right now in the audio. First off, shout out to my my people on Clubhouse. You know, the waiting room, the room I frequent. If you are a Clubhouse activist, make sure you tap in with us in the waiting room. Today it is, it's the men's day, so I'm moderating while I'm making sure that I'm recording, making sure that we stay active, but also the same subject matter that I'm talking about right now is what they're talking about in the room. So they're running clips from Charlie from some of his debates. So that's what y'all are hearing in the background. And right here on screen, we see the building from where they say the shooter came from. So right now, right here on the cursor, you can see let me see, can I scroll in some more? This particular building right here, right? This is a multi-level building. And then they said the shooter dropped from the edge down to the ground. They said it had to be like a 9-foot drop or something along those lines, right? Now, look at this angle. So down here, this is where they said he got hit. So I'm going to show you all something about this. This is on a downward decline. But also, let's scroll back up just so we can be clear about one thing. Okay, you see this? He's under a tent. So from an upward vantage point, there will be blockage from you being able to see at that angle. So where they're saying he was shot from a direct viewpoint on an elevated building, when he himself, let's scroll down so I can show you all right here in this location, right? Look at all these people. It's crazy. This is the one that they are proclaiming. And look, see the drop down? Yeah. Boom. That's not that far. He has a bag. This is what the media has been running. This is who they're saying is the shooter. All right, you see? And then it's questions from some of the people in Clubhouse and things like that. Like, how did he get on the building? Like, this building could have roof access. He could have been inside and went up through a stairwell. But also, this could be a distraction. Let's just keep it real. So, and then here is the travel pattern that they said the shooter ran. This is very detailed. I love how detailed this is for sure. Location of the shooter, footage of shows suspect running across roof, jumps off roof with bag, showing to walk across as a car passes, and then broke off towards the woods, I'm assuming, across this main street, and then the police started to search this area and started knocking on doors. Okay, now this right here, this is when they start breaking out. Let me see if I can get a better angle. We may have to go back to the one with Charlie. This is who they're trying to say it is. I'm not too sure. All right, cool. So right here, this is in a valley. It dips down. So I'm going to use my hands a little bit so I can help people to visualize what I'm trying to get you to understand. Let me see. Okay, actually, this is a pretty good image of it. So you see how low to the ground, well, how much lower Charlie is. Charlie's here, and then you see people to the side of him, and then you see people higher and higher and higher. He's in a downward valley, right? So the natural level where you see the building, the base level of the building where the individual will be on the ground. If the building is here, Charlie's down here, and then this individual, well, the ground level of the building, and then the individual is on a higher level. So that means he will have a downward trajectory in order to hit him, and will still have a skewed view because he's under a tent in order for it to be where they're saying it came from. But the internet is a wild place, fam. I got something else that I would like to show y'all, and let's see. So let's run this clip.
If there's any experts, let me know what you think.
This guy right here with the white hat, he starts it by creating a couple signals. He touches the bill of his hat, and then he touches his ear. The guy that shot Charlie is over on this side, so he's seeing that guy, and he's also seeing this guy. This guy has to get out of the way from the guy in the white, and he steps forward to get in front of this guy so that the guy that's over here that shoots him can see him, and he rubs his right arm. And then you can see this guy in the background. Watch this.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
There goes the signals.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
All right. This is where I really want you to pay attention. Do you see how this guy right here? He moved in front of that guy. He's actually leaning forward right here, and he's touching his arm so that this guy right here in the white shirt, you can see he's holding the gun right there. Watch this. This is terrifying, guys. If I go frame by frame, watch this. So if I back up a little bit, the moment the guy in black moves his arm out, watch what happens. When the arm comes out right here, watch what happens to this guy. See how he's got his arm up? Now that guy raises his arms, and you can see the gun right here. It's gonna recoil. And then as soon as he gets done recoiling, Charlie moves. Here it comes. You're going to see that guy in the white shirt. He's going to lift his right elbow. Ready?
Yep.
Right here. He lifts his elbow. He's holding a gun. And watch what happens. He shoots it.
Yeah, watch his hand.
His hand goes right back into place, and then Charlie gets hit.
Ooh,
watch this. Raise his elbow. Boom. Look at that. Watch the gun shoot right now, and watch Charlie get hit right now. Oh my God.
Okay, that's enough. All right, so that I already, just based on, like understanding how a bullet travels trajectory, and, when, of course, downward spiral, it's like he couldn't even see if it was other people. And then it's still technically like how shooters call it, it's a T box. A T box is a particular area that you can still hit within that will, pretty much immobilize an individual. This to me is a miss from conditioning and from what I was taught. Is usually here and like center mass, here and center mass, usually not here. That from where they initially had said it had came from, in my mind, I'm like, why would you take such a risky shot with so many people around? And from the trajectory, I'm like, it was so straight from the entry wound, from the image that's been circulating around the internet, that it only could have came from base level where he was at. And as we just seen in another vantage point, like, I possibly was right. But then it leads to the question is like, why are they pinning this on an individual on the roof when there was a group of people? One, was it a ghost gun? Was it silent? How it was clearly people next to that individual, and why was it not pinpointed that this individual, was the power? You feel me? It's like I said, very interesting time. But yeah, like I really don't know too much about Charlie. So let's see what the internet has to say a little bit about his background. I just seen a few clips of him on the internet, but I am interested to let's just get a quick debrief of bro. So Charlie James Kirk, October 14th, 1993, September 10th, little homie was 31 before he passed. Of course, he was a father, a husband. Yes, and this is the company that he's a co-founder of the conservative organization Turning Point USA. Let's click and see what Turning Point is. So Turning Point USA is an American nonprofit organization that advocates for conservative politics on high school, college, and university campuses. It was founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk and Bill Montgomery. Affiliates group include Turning Point Endowment, Turning Point Action, the fastest growing organization of campus chapters in America, according to the Chronicle of Higher Education. It is a dominant force in campus conservatism. So yeah, this is education is very impactful, fam. You have to understand, like, if you can get in with the youth, like, you can shape the direction that our country can go in. And like, he was a very impactful young man, and he had a very good approach when it came to how he dealt with these things. So we understand he was a Turning Point. He published a range of books, talk show, radio programs. I also know, he was a prominent voice of the MAGA movement, like we seen in the videos. He was passing out MAGA hats. Kirk was born and raised in Chicago suburbs of Arlington Heights. Prospect Heights, briefly attended Harper College before dropping out. He was a dropout, and they are they promote that he's a dropout and that he is actively on college campuses promoting these things. He also, if y'all probably seen some of his content online, he debates people about some of these inflammatory topics. And a lot of people they believe he's a racist. I just believe he is a truth speaker. He speaks his truth. I don't agree with everything that he says, but for somebody to be removed because of aspects of free speech or because of some conspiracies, say because of other countries, because of money he took, it's so many different things going on right now. But nobody wants this, especially because, like, I've been known to speak outwardly about certain things. And I tell people all the time, like, we have a great country. This is one of the only countries we can speak as freely as we do. But we have seen several people in history become martyrs for their messages. And, sometimes you feel like these things get done in order to, make people shut up. But was the message that Charlie was putting forth, was it wrong? Was he doing anything wrong? Was he hurting people with the words he was using? And was Charlie a bad person? Did he deserve what happened to him? I don't believe he deserved that. I honestly can't say if he was a good or a bad individual. I didn't know him personally, but I have seen some of his talking points, and I appreciate when people, speak their truth. As a key ally of Donald Trump, he espoused a variety of conservative stances, including opposition to abortion, gun control, DEI programs, LGBTQ rights. His more controversial views, including his criticism of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and Martin Luther King Jr., his promotion of COVID-19 misinformation and false claims of electoral fraud in 2020, and his opposition to immigration. Yeah. So let me see. All right, this is how we got it. So Charlie Clark came to earn Trump admiration. Charlie and Donnie, he rocking the blue tie. All right, so Charlie Clark was a proud college dropout with a direct line to President Donald Trump, like few others. A frequent visitor to the White House, Clark was far more than a loyal fan and admirer of President. He had a finger on the pulse of MAGA base. And keep in mind, we're reading from CNN. This is some journalist viewpoint of what's going on. So there may be some biasness in what I'm reading. I didn't write it. I do my best to be unbiased when I present things. Shout out to TSB News. Like, we just do our best to just provide the information and leave our feelings out of it. He had a finger on the pulse of MAGA. Even more rare instances when he disagreed, like with Trump's June decision to strike nuclear strikes in Iran, which he was very open about. He spoke about that, and you can go look at his X account and see those things as well. At the time, Clark said he warned of potential fallout with younger supporters, many of whom were drawn to Trump because of his campaign pledge to end foreign wars. The mere notion that Kirk delivered criticism and Trump accepted without attacking back underscores how much the president admires the conservative activists and respected the strength of the Turning Point USA organization. Kirk saw himself as a true believer in conservative values and in Trump. People close to him said who was intent on strengthening his movement in the president's second term. That sounds like a typo, bro. Got to do better to CNN. No one understood or had the heart of youth in the United States of America better than Charlie, said Trump. Trump wrote on social media Wednesday in his post announcing Kirk's death, underscoring their close ties. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. So, based on, if y'all really can't get what I'm saying, like Kirk had a lot to do with Donald Trump getting in office, by him getting the youth and other people behind it. Well, let me not say a lot, but a part. He played a part in that for sure. So, let me know what y'all think. Who you think did it? Was it the one that the media is telling us, or was it the other person in the audience? Because it's kind of hard to see and make it out. Let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe for more. And shout out to TFB News. So, now in story time, the other day, I went on a date with 5 women. And I think 4 of them was from Australia and 1 was from Canada. Yeah, it was lit, fam. Like, yeah, we had a good time. I got content, so yeah, we was kicking it. And these is bossy women, bossy trust fund baddies. Shout out to bro, but yeah, straight trust fund baddies, fam. And yeah, so where was it? Was down in Miami. It was a women's conference, and I got invited by one of my friends who came to see me speak at one of the masterminds that I held down in Atlanta a minute ago. And she was like, yeah, come out or whatever. So I popped out, and then I listened, and I watched a lot of the women speak the first day. And we went out to eat afterwards, and they treated the dude, and we had a good time. It was lit. We went somewhere that was favorable to their Australian palate, and we conversed, and then they asked me a little bit about myself, as y'all will see in some of the content. And like it was just dope because I never got to like kick it with no women from Australia before. I've been around women from Canada. The Australians is lit. Like they they fun. They are great people. And even I love some of their business models. And even shout out to my other Canadian well, she's in Canada right now, but my EIC, my emotional intelligence coach, Miss Nadine, she is amazing. If you all, first off, emotional intelligence is a need for everybody, but especially us men who may not realize that based on life, we have become a little bit more callous in situations and more turned off. And the way she explained it is everybody has a saboteur, like a something that can sabotage you from doing what it is you desire to do in life. And she has and I'm a bright individual, but all of us need guidance outside of ourselves. So I heard her speak at the women's conference, and I was like, y'all know me. I don't be like, you can learn from everybody and anything, but it's certain things that stand out to me, and I'd be like, yeah, I can learn from you. You can help me grow. It's a little bit different the way my brain works. But she said some very impactful things, and I've been working with her for a while now, and she has been helping me to grow in my emotional intelligence. And I feel like that is a need, especially when, you run large corporations, you deal with people on the day-to-day. You're a father, you're a spouse, you're a partner, you're a husband, you're a friend, you're an uncle, just like you are a human. You come in contact with so many people, and you just have to be mindful of, like what's going on in your life, what may be going on in their life, and understanding that if you have a saboteur, they have a saboteur as well. And like I said, this is something that she educated me in. Like, she is super dope. And if y'all need help in that area, make sure y'all click the link below, because she's lit. And go get a free consult and, take the saboteur test and, get to learn yourself better. It's when I realized when I was talking to her, it was more so she's teaching people how to do the work. And I realized I haven't done the work in so long, like the metaphysical work, the things that help you to be a great individual. Well, like I said, I was kicking it. I went on a date with 5 women, and they showed me so much love, like kissing on me, joking. It was lit. It was super lit. And yeah, check out the content. Oh, and then also that was the first day I just went and I listened. The second day I actually went and I spoke. So it was I did not prepare. I knew I was coming, but I tailored what I spoke about based on the needs of the people, especially because my brand has segued more into private equity. Like, we literally rolled all of the companies together, from the growing farms, wellness, and game face aspect, from what we do with, like agriculture, plant science, and things along those lines, to the sovereign fund with the tribes, because we have the treaties with the Yamasee, the Shinnecock, all of that stuff that we're doing up there. My people are not there. And the Shekwa, and we also got some more treaties in the works right now. And I'm right up the street from the Seminoles. So we have all of that stuff grouped together, and then the things that we do with content creators and people who are small businesses and startups, and how we help them to grow and increase valuations. So yeah, we've been active. And so I've literally just realized that everything that I've been working towards over these years really encompasses a body of like private equity and just high-end consulting. That's what I've been doing this entire time. So they restructured the brand in order to do that. And then we've partnered with, like the Tribal Fund, and then also Avery. And you can see all of that on bjbay.com. But yeah, being able to speak to them and being able to show them how to scale and be mindful of some of the transitions that are happening in our society right now, today's time, like, you'll see it. And I was very direct. I did my best not to be, like too hard, but just like be mindful. So yeah, check the clip.
actually have poor dad. I just spoke in front of him in another mastermind in Dallas. And that's his big mission, is to try to get financial. No, that's what he said. He said that. So at least he's educated. Those of us who are already grown, maybe some of them.
I still use stuff that I like when it's hurting, and like I even watch the games but
It'd be really great if you didn't laugh at that point, just so I was like, what?
I have a research and development company that's been in place over 20 years that I inherited, and mainly dealing cannabis research. But I've been working in 15 years in helping people to scale their businesses. I have a background in contract law, and I also work in trust. So I have my own program for financial literacy education, but my main focus as of late has been dealing with our software fund, doing financial here in America, helping to grow and migrate over to AI technology and STEM education. So that's where the private equity aspect comes out. And also dealing with content creators, small businesses, helping them to integrate and gain skills to a higher valuation and giving them understanding of what this is private. So that's where my focus is.
Just a little.
And I'm also a third degree black belt. I hold a world record in brick. I'm the world's fastest brick breaker since 2014.
Wow. World's fastest.
Brick breaker, great concrete breaking out there. I know it don't look like it.
It's a technique.
I did.
No, I believe you. For years, and he's a businessman, and he just doesn't like the numbers, so he's making adjustments. That's really all it is.
Australia, we always go, why are we selling off all our islands and everything to China, and they own all
Capitalism.
these things?
Capitalism.
And we're like, why?
It's for the benefit of the 1%. It is the same exact reason why you will not see AI be truly beneficial to the masses, because if I could use artificial intelligence and become a multimillionaire, then anybody could become a multimillionaire, and that's not the way capitalism works. So there's a large fail aspect in a lot of the things that they give to the masses. So you just got to learn how to maneuver around it. But it's a method to this madness, because you have to keep a balance between the 1% and the 99%. Peace. I am DJ Bay. It's good to meet you all. I've enjoyed the time I've spent with you all between last night and today, listening to all you beautiful women speak, and also you distinguished gentlemen. And I have also learned some things. I've learned that I can be a solution as the same way how you all can be, because I often hear problems in people's, business models. So I make a lot of money being a consultant. So I want to talk to you all about business growth and scaling today. So you see the outfit, right? Yeah. I am the CEO of several companies, but this particular one of a research and development company that has been around for almost 20 years plus. I've been around like the last 7 years. I've been able to increase the valuation a few hundred million, getting it in closer towards the billion mark, just based on some of the information and integrations I made into the company by networking and also my tribal status. My family was the first to sign a treaty with the United States back in 1778. My grandfather is Chief White Eyes, and my uncle is Killbuck. They are on the Delaware Fort Pitt Treaty, right? So understanding my background, it has allowed me to be able to scale moving forward, and also been able to help other people to learn how to do the same things, right? So, how can I help you? Based on, I don't know, y'all looking, I'm probably the youngest speaker to speak all weekend, possibly, from what it seems like. And you were probably questioning, like, what is my experience? Why do I have the ability to get on this stage? And also be one of the last people to speak to you. I have the receipts, I have the credentials, and I have done the work in my short time on this planet. And based on me doing this work, I have been able to help a lot of people. So I'm here to do the same for you. One thing, well, I can take this off. I just wanted to tell you all that. So one thing I can tell you all is that we are going through a transition, a tech transition, a media transition, and a wealth transition. It is imperative that we ensure that our companies can make it through this storm. How many of you all remember COVID? You remember the essential business and how you could only move around if your business was essential? That is something to pay attention to, because that right there shows merit, it shows value, and it also shows a business that can weather a storm. Can your business weather that storm? How many of you are CEOs in here? high-end execs, you know, and y'all know most of us are entrepreneurs, right? So just understanding that a lot of us are in the same boat. A lot of us can learn from each other, but a lot of us have the same, most of us are not in the 1 percentile. Being mindful that it is not logical that most people will make it to the 1 percentile. So the easiest way to scale is through collaboration. How many of you have exchanged numbers while you were here and actually seen benefit in another person that you can actually do a collaborative effort with? Good for you. You understand it. And that is probably the reason why some of you all are up here speaking, because you understand things that help people to grow. Also, understanding that there is a 17-point system that has been put in place. It is called Agenda 2030 from the World Economic Forum. Another question. Y'all familiar with the company BlackRock? Yes. Larry Fink? Yeah, he just became the interim head of the World Economic Forum. He is one of the largest fund managers in world history, a few $1 trillion assets under management. So understanding like that man is going to control the aspect in which our money flows in the near future. This 17-point system, some of you have probably heard about it. The 15-minute cities, the integrations, forming AI technology. And like I said, it's imperative that we pay attention to these things, because has your business started making these integrations? Because there are over 30% of jobs will be lost from now to 2030. Will that be one of your jobs? How many of you are life coaches? Respectfully, do you believe that that is an essential business? I don't disagree with you, but one question we must always ask ourselves, can I be replaced by a robot? And that's just being, like, you have to be unbiased about these questions, because you have to do a self-audit. You have to do a business audit. You have to do these things quarterly. If you do not, you won't just be placed by AI, you will possibly be placed by somebody who's using AI, just because it makes it easier for someone to scale. Remember, we talked about partnership and collaboration. That robot is also a collaboration. You use it as a tool in order so that you can scale and build. So being mindful of the 17-point system, we're talking about better housing, better economics, going green, recycling. There is supposed to be no homelessness. This is the agenda. I know it doesn't sound ideal, but this plan has been in place since 2015. And if the World Economic Forum says something's going to happen, 9 times out of 10 it happens. So if you are in finance, if you are in scaling, these are things that we should be mindful of, even as an entrepreneur. Understanding the direction that our economy is going in, because if you are building in a direction this way, but our economy is going this way, that means you are building a failing business. These are some of the things that I see, and we just have to be honest with ourselves and honest with our business and be sure that we are putting time into the right place. Do audits, be mindful, and be realistic with yourself. Is this worth it? Because a lot of like the things I've seen in here over the weekend, the energy and the power, and I believe it was one speaker, she said, if all of y'all came together, you can change the world in 3 years. That's through collaboration, and I completely believe that. But what does that change look like? Are you essential to the future? Because once again, there are a lot of life coaches in here. Will that business make it past 2030? And that's really, I just want y'all to be mindful. And I myself, I deal in finance. I have a background in contract law, such as creating trust and business structures. And like I said, I have been fortunate enough to scale several businesses. I myself have treaties with the Yamasee Nation. My family is Lenape American Indians. I also work with the Shinnecock Nation up in the Hamptons. So in these companies, I have made millions of dollars in my short time on this planet. So through my experience and my receipts, I am forewarning you, be prepared for this change that is coming, so that this is a time that all of us can build and scale in. We just have to make sure that we align ourselves and our businesses the right way with the proper technologies, and then we can win as a collective, as a collaborative. And without further ado, Dr. Tina.
Can you guys give me He gave that for free. I'm going to tell him how old you are.
I'm 34 right now.
You guys, he is 34 years old. I always tell him he acts like an old man. He is my little brother. He is absolutely amazing. What he's done is unbelievable. I mean, I think he made his first million before I made mine. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
He created all of my trust, and I'm gonna be honest. He created go ahead and clap, you guys. It's okay. So he created all of my trust. When he created my trust, I was like, these are not gonna be real, and I need to make sure I go the extra mile to make sure it's a trust, right? And so I go, and they're like, wow, who did this? Which attorney? And I was like, oh, okay. Is there anything else that I need or anything like that? They're like, no, Tita, this is all you need. I'm like, I don't need a stamp on it. I was thinking I needed something else, right? How many of you guys have a trust? Right. How many of you knew about trust before you got one? Not too many people? See, exactly.
It's like half the room.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you tap into somebody, an attorney, a CPA, an Indian, or someone that's have trust. Can you please give it up again for DJ Bay? Trust fund, baby.
Oh, and do not forget to sign up for that email video program that they have. Like when I see the future, like I have vision. That is something that you can use to scale. You just have to do the work and make sure your content look up to par. And it's easy from there. Build your contact list out, but get that program. I'm getting it.
Thank you. Round of applause.
Speaking of the firm, when it comes to content creators, shout out to one of the top content creators we've ever dealt with, Avani Lewis, Miss Eva, Lady Boss. Yeah, she just dropped her book that we assisted her with publishing, Will the Tribe, Atum. Yeah, what it is, $1 million content creator blueprint. And one thing I can tell you is she for sure is a multimillionaire just off content creation. Even some of the information that she has given me has helped me to, like better build the Trust Fund Baby brand, even understanding how I can better incorporate my children into the business model so that it is like financially beneficial to them, and also scaling the brand. She explains how to pay your children properly. Like when I tell you, like she, like Big House, like she got rid of her Aston Martin. I was like, damn, why you got the Aston Martin? She had a cold black and pink Aston Martin AM, which is nice. But like, yeah, she be doing her thing, and you have to respect somebody who has presented the receipts. And like, I've even seen like her YouTube numbers and her TikTok numbers, and it's all organic. I watched her just go live on TikTok. She got multiple pages. One got over 1 million followers. One probably got like around 300,000. And that was just like a mukbang page. And even how she separates the content for different pages for different channels without doing, it's called content contamination. So brands are structured properly. Like this is personal brand. This is the mukbang brand. But even to the point where she's built herself up to where she can, like, when she does her consulting, she can scale somebody so fast, and she's done it for her family members. Like for real, like she's almost like the female DDG because like I've watched her put several people in position, but with them and their families based on social media models. As long as they do the work, they grow and they scale. So shout out to her for her book, The $1 Million Content Creator Blueprint. Like I said, I'm utilizing stuff from that particular book, and I'm thankful that the firm was able to help her to create that offer and all of the future offers that she's going to be dropping, because like she's literally made her bread just off content creation, like haven't sold nothing before this book. So to be a multimillionaire just solely off of video strategy to the point where you can scale your family into multi-million-dollar crib in South Florida. You can have all the cars you want, go vacation, do whatever you want to do, like let your children do whatever they want to do. So she has been able to get to a point where most people desire. So I was just like, put it on paper so that people can at least have a blueprint, whether or not if they read it and they utilize it, that's solely on them, fam. But at least you did your job and you showed people the way. So like I'm saying, it is super affordable. Well, I believe it's $14.99 for the ebook, and I know like in the near future she's supposed to be having a signing. But I do know she does consulting for content and mass media, but I also know she does women's events as well. So like, hopefully soon she'll be popping out at one of the Miami speaking events. I'm not sure, but I do know that she does her own private masterminds and things like that. She has done it before with Garden of Eva down here in South Florida. But yeah, great person to work with. Like I said, I love people who show receipts, and she got them and she moved quick. And even to the point where I have a consulting contract with her and she has a consulting contract with me. She manages the media for most of our stuff now. So yeah, like be on the lookout for a lot of these changes and transitions. And even like just pay attention to the way this is going today, because like, yeah, she's kind of responsible for some of these transitions. So, and keep in mind, it only took 1 day to publish our book. And I've been telling y'all for years, like you can make books, make an offer, make books, make an offer, monetize, scale, tell your story. It's not as hard as you think, fam. And based on how diligent she was, we was able to get her book published in 1 day. And she was making money just like that. Of course, she had the following to go along with it. It's levels to go into it. But I'm telling you, the blueprint is there, A to Z. Y'all, a lot of y'all have watched me do it. It's not as hard as you think. And if you reach out, if you text me and you interested, like I'll give you real numbers on how much it really costs in order for her to publish. But yeah, trust me, it's a reason why I work the way that I do, because you don't have to break your bank. Excuse me. You don't have to break your bank in order for you to make bank. Just understand that, fam. 5 reasons why business owners should have trust and be knowledgeable of trust. I said 5, but I got more than 5, so we gonna see. All right. Who's that guy? So first off, we gonna work into these steps. There's revocable living trust, and then there's irrevocable trust. Can be changed or revoked. It becomes irrevocable upon the grantor's death and is often used in probate, avoidance, and estate planning. So what that means is, in layman's terms, if you have a revocable trust, something that is attached to your social security number in most cases, you have the ability to change these things while you're living, but upon the time that you pass, it becomes irrevocable. Now, an irrevocable trust is not meant to be changed, man. So these things are actually more set for asset protection, because it's like you lock something into a safe, like a safety deposit box, and then it is set aside for it just to be over there. It is an asset. Nobody bothers it. It's safe there. Now, you look at a revocable trust, like the way I explain it to people, it is like you have one that is interacting in commerce often, and then you have one that is set aside in order for you to protect things. You don't want your public dealings to roll over into your private dealings and then be able to affect your assets, man. It matters. It truly matters. And we have charitable trust. Charitable trusts are great because most wealthy people have charitable trusts. Ask Donald Trump why he only paid $700 in taxes 1 year when he's a multimillionaire. It is because individuals have an understanding of deductions and how to offload tax liability. So that also comes with philanthropy work and donations. Now, let's just say Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? Do you know how much money they actually donate to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation? Now, if we look at who the beneficiaries are of this institution, I bet you that we see that Bill and Melinda Gates are beneficiaries. And if you did not know that charitable trust, if you are the owner, if you are the beneficiary of a charitable trust and the trust has taken care of the majority of its needs, you then have the ability to receive a portion of those proceeds as a beneficiary. So it's, for some people, they're paying into a charitable trust in order so that they can pay themselves, in order so that they have to pay the IRS less. And upon the illusion, it looks like you are doing philanthropy. not to say that some of these charitable trusts or these charities aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but it's only a small portion of those funds that actually go there. Just keeping it a buck with you. And then we have one of my favorite, and make sure y'all check out the book, Family Trust. It is a great book. I wrote it a few years ago, and we have family constitutions and things in there. We have templates, definitions, all types of explanations in order for you to become more educated in how to fully operate your trust, and so that you can pass the information down to your children so that they know what you're leaving behind for them. But yes, a family trust is a living trust as a type of trust created by a family for financial and estate planning to manage and protect family assets, facilitate the distribution of assets to beneficiaries, and reduce taxes. So I have a house, I have cars, I have silver, coins, jewelry, things like that. I can leave them in my family trust, and I can appoint my empress and my children as beneficiaries, along with other businesses and other trusts as beneficiaries. And I would list my assets in the page that is called a Schedule A. And like I said, within the family trust book that we wrote, you all can see all of that information in there. And shout out to Atom Publishing. One that a lot of people don't know about, the gun trust. So you as a business owner, you do have the right to protect yourself if you are in brick and mortars, and let's say you're a carrier. You do not have to put these arms in your own name. They can be put in a gun trust. And this is a documentation. I believe the gun trust was found in Texas, and the ATF recognizes it and they utilize it. And you also can purchase silencers and things through a gun trust. It is it's a pretty dope piece of paper, fam. It's lit. Like, y'all should really look into it. So when you see gun trust, also known as a firearms trust, for the NFA trust, it is trust established to manage the ownership and possession of firearms, including National Firearms Act, such as suppressors, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, machine guns, and certain other regulated firearms. A gun trust can also designate multiple trustees or authorized users who are legally allowed to possess and use trust firearms. This can include family members and friends. So in the gun trust for my family, if I list myself as a beneficiary, my children as a beneficiary, all of my family members, there isn't an issue if anyone picks up a firearm within that structure, because legally they have the ability to do so. And you all can look these things up. Like I said, this came from Texas, and like you say, the National Firearms Association is, and they agree to it. I actually love this one. So the blind trust. As a business owner, let's just say you're in like a Donald Trump situation, and you ended up inheriting a very lucrative business situation, but you've already been establishing things and you have other business models going on. There's something called a blind trust, right? So this is one of the first times that I actually heard of blind trust was in an episode of Billions. And in the final season, the protagonist, he actually has to use a blind trust because he's running for president. So this is usually like in a Donald Trump situation. He's somebody who would have a blind trust, and he actually transferred the majority of his assets over to his children. So let's read what a blind trust is. A blind trust is to eliminate any potential conflicts of interest that could arise when a beneficiary is aware of their financial interests while holding a position of public trust, such as a government official, corporate executive, or a public figure. That is literally what blind trusts are for. So even me being in tribal positions, I have to have certain trust in place in case I get access to other things for the benefit of the tribe in order to protect the tribe's interest and also my family interest. So I personally don't become conflicted and then start to mismanage things because I have so much going on. It's a very brilliant thing. And then we have the bulletproof trust. So these trusts aim, I almost said something ignorant about what we these trusts aim to provide a high level of protection from these assets held within them, shielding them from potential creditors, lawsuits, and other threats. So there are certain clauses and things that are placed in trust. And one company that I could say that more than likely does have a bulletproof trust, it will have to be Walt Disney when it comes to Disney World and how bad they stress out the state of Florida and Ron DeSantis, and even how they operate in those capacities, mainly because of the King's clause that was put into their particular trust. But yeah, those are important because it's another trust that comes after that, and it will highlight why bulletproof trusts work the way that they do. So then we got statutory trust, not my favorite. A type of trust entity established under state statutes that govern real estate investments, trust, REITs, real estate investment trust, and other similar arrangements. Only reason why I say statutory trusts are not my favorite because usually they fall underneath state jurisdictions, and that within itself can become limiting to someone like me who operates in so many different jurisdictions. So usually, if you ever got a trust from me, you understand how we operate. We don't allow people to limit our commerce or just our private dealings, because our business is our business, and you don't have the right to impede on that based on the way how you operate your jurisdiction and citizens. And it's just a right that we have the ability to reserve because we know better, right? So, spendthrift trust. So when we talk about spendthrift, this kind of is the one that I was talking about that leads back into the bulletproof. So a spendthrift trust designated to protect the trust assets from beneficiary creditors. It restricts the beneficiary from accessing the trust principal and may provide only for income distributions. So a spendthrift trust is literally established in order to protect you from, like debt issues. So whenever you hear somebody talk about like debt deletion and things like that, like how to remove debt with a trust, they're referring to spendthrift aspects and spendthrift clauses. And a spendthrift clause or a spendthrift trust, like incorporated into a bulletproof situation with a bulletproof trust, it is like very airtight, and it makes it easy for you to correct any debt situations that you have put yourself in, as far as the representation of yourself versus the entity. So you have to make it clear. And then right here we have constructive trust. A constructive trust is not a traditional trust, rather than an equitable remedy imposed to correct wrongful actions such as fraud or breach of fiduciary duty by someone who holds property under circumstances making it unjust to retain that property. So this will be something that you use in order to, make a claim, in order to get right. You present this to the court, and yeah, they're going to treat you differently than they will as somebody who's operating in a statutory sense. Then we have a unitrust, provides beneficiaries with a fixed percentage of the trust value each year, regardless of the trust performance. So trust got money, you got money. And this is like, well, why wouldn't you want to know this information if you are looking in order to grow and scale and provide something for your, like your children, for future generations? This is how you secure a bag, fam. And like I said, when you're growing and you're scaling and you understand like the benefits of private equity, and yeah, y'all for sure got to tap in with us on the Clubhouse and things like that. It's so many different offers and opportunities, but we may be doing like a online Shark Tank situation, and y'all can come pitch, get information on how to grow, scale, and possibly get some in-house investment opportunities. So like I said, make sure y'all tap in with me. Hit the link below. And you already know where we at. It's always love here. So this is where we have real conversations with real people in real time. Shout out to TFB News.
Press pause.